There we go.
2023, woohoo!
So, welcome to Content Creators Connect. Here, we're all about encouraging the three C's: connecting with others via video, content development that builds your personal brand, and creators sharing their experiences despite their distances.
For those of us joining us for the first time, let's get to know the C3 team. We have ClasicMac Kevin, all the way on the far end of me, well known in his community as ClasicMac. He has a thriving online community. He is a strong advocate in finding low-cost tools to help you in your live streaming journey. Then we have our lovely Dori, who is known to everyone as DSpence. She is using her superpowers to install confidence in those around her and helping others become techsperts in their own adventures. And I'm Manny, who is well known as Coach Manny in the marketing world. I love bringing social media and networking together, along with my passion for streaming true crime and helping you conquer that social media world. And, in today's topic, we have a very important topic for you. And I'm so excited about the topic that he chose for this. When it comes to content planning, when it comes to staying organized, I think it's a very important topic. Kevin, tell us why staying organized is important in your world.
Well, I am involved in so many different things, so I need to know exactly when I'm going to be going live streaming, because I'm doing 3 to possibly 4 live streams a week. So knowing that, knowing when to get content out, knowing when to get thumbnails out, knowing when to have time to create content for that, you need to get organized and have a calendar of things, of items that are upcoming, so that you can keep on track and make sure that you don't, as they say in Ghostbusters, cross streams. So you're not talking about a topic in the wrong stream, because that would just be devastating. Like if you're having an entertainment type of stream where you're building Lego, but yet you're on your C3 stream. And it's like, no, I'm not going to be talking about Lego today. So you kind of want to get everything all set up, so that you are prepared every time that you hit that go live button. So I'm going to go through some of the finer things of, I guess, low cost tools to be able to help you keep organized in 2023. And all of these are very personable, meaning that each person has their own way of doing things. So I'm very curious about the two of you. Dory, for instance, what kind of methodology do you have to get ready for a stream?
Man, that is a tough question. Well, I think for me, I have a checklist that I use, and mine is simply in a Google Doc, uh, beginning to end. I just open it up on my screen and I go, check, 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 check. Some other things that I do is I make sure that everything that's in my space is set for the stream that I'm doing. So, like you, Kevin, I stream for different purposes, different content, different locations, different topics. So, everything in front of me, including my stream deck, has to be set up for that show, everything within my fingertips. Um, and honestly, the rest of it for me is just mindset. Mine is I have a dedicated space for streaming. So it's easier for me because everything is just here. I just have to make sure that it's set to whatever show I'm doing. So for me, it's more about coming up the stairs, listening to some music, jamming on while I'm turning everything on, testing my equipment, and then like push the button and I'm ready to go. So what about you, Manny?
When it comes to content planning, I truly believe that if you're going to be a content creator, you have to have a content calendar. You have to have a way of like, this is what I'm setting out for. One of my favorite times to do this is like on a Sunday where I'm, putting together like, okay, this is the type of content that I want to put out. Or if I'm working with a client, speaking of that, I got to send out a content planner. And that's why I think this is such an important topic that Kevin's hitting on, because here's the truth. All three of us are content creators. We
Mhm.
are all creating content. Now, granted, some people do wing it, but can you really easily wing it and not have that stressful moment of everything coming together and then you're like, what the heck am I going to talk about? What am I going to do it on? And I think that it's key, number one, when you're creating content, what's the purpose around it? So I really believe that when it comes to content planning, staying organized during that part, I truly believe. Now, granted, I think we're all a little weak in some areas when it comes to this, just in general, but staying organized when it comes to your content, I think that is one of the easiest ways to keep everything in order for your whole month. If you do it by month, if you do it by week, bi-weekly, having an idea, and then also having that open part of that being organized, like, okay, things are going to happen, and I still want to be able to get content in. Am I going to get that in and at night? Am I going to make sure that I get that piece of content up there? If I set it up and I say I'm going to do it this day, well, you know what? If you do put it down for organization purposes, you're more likely to make sure that in the back of your mind, I got to get this done. I got to get it done. So I'm really looking forward to hearing like exactly what Kevin's going to be sharing when it comes to staying organized with our content planning. So I think that that is very key. My friends, this is the type of content we're always trying to create for you guys to give you value. And that's exactly what Kevin's about to do. If this is the type of content that you'd like to see more of, please consider hitting that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you do get notified whenever we go live. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into that content. Kevin, take it away, buddy.
All right. Well, you just hit the nail on the head, Manny. There's so much that has to go into getting organized as a content creator and getting that calendar. Like you said, whether you do it a month at a time or do a jam session and do an entire year, if you're if you're able to plan for an entire year. So I'm going to go through some tips, and I'm also going to be showing you some tools that are available. And being the low cost live streamer that I am, they're free. So you always like to hear that 4-letter F word. I thought that might get a smile out of you. So 5 tips to get you started as a content creator is make a content calendar. Like Manny had said, can either do it a month at a time or 2 or 3 months at a time, just so that you're aware of what you are actually going to be talking about, and therefore you can do the research and get the content together and sort of get some bullet points and talking points that you want in to share with your audience. Another thing, create a workflow. Not only do you need to know the content that you're talking about, but you need to have a workflow of, okay, now that I have my content, when am I actually going to be scheduling this? When during the week am I going to do this? And also creating thumbnails, creating an event, whether you do it in Restream or you create an event in another platform to go live. And using tools to stay organized is tip number 3. I'm going to be showing you a few tools here that you can use, but once again, it's all personal. It's up to your personality of what suits you. Number 4, I found is very important too, is setting aside some dedicated time for content creation. So if you just sort of wing it and say, oh, I'll just think about these 5 tips off the top of my head as I go live, it's not going to have as much of an impact as going and doing the research and doing it properly and having specific talking points for your stream. And number 5, the 5th tip here, collaborate with other content creators. That actually holds you accountable for doing your part. So many people have just gone live by themselves and just winging it off the top of their head. But if you actually work together with other content creators, you actually are accountable to them and saying, hey, I'm responsible for my part. You are responsible for your part. Let's work together and have some great content for our viewers. So there's just a few tips to sort of get us started and getting into the mindset of getting organized. So overall, the key to getting organized as a content creator is to find the tools and strategies that best work for you. And main part, be consistent in using them. And then by staying organized, you can ensure that you're creating high quality content consistently, which will help grow your audience and help achieve your goals as a content creator. And today, the 5 free tools I'm going to be talking about, Google Calendar, Notion, Canva, and MailChimp, and Sticky Notes. And I'm sure you are familiar with a lot of these already, but maybe you're not familiar with just how deep down some of these tools can actually be used. So let's just jump on into the Google Calendar. This is a really awesome tool because, first of all, it's free. You can sign up for a free Gmail account, and attached to that is a calendar. Um, and within this calendar, you can make digital to-do lists. You can create events and tasks, and you can color code these items as well and set up reminders for yourself. And I'm just going to jump on over to my screen here and show you exactly what I am talking about. So here we go. We have our C3 stream going on today. So I've color coded that blue so I know that all the different things that I'm doing. Blue is what I have set aside for the C3 stream. And I can set up a reminder saying, hey, 30 minutes before, send a notification, whether it be on my computer or on my phone. And I really like that the Google Calendar is cross-device as well. And it doesn't matter whether you're on an Android, iOS, like an iPhone, or Windows computer, or a MacBook. It's web-based, so no matter what device you use, you are able to access this calendar and receive these messages. So I absolutely love Google Calendar and use it quite frequently. So next up, Notion. I love using this tool. It is so useful, and I know we use it at C3 for a lot of our content as well. And I'm actually going to jump into it and show a little bit of this. But this, you can create your annual goals, your monthly, weekly, and daily tasks. You can create your own templates. You can use the templates that are there already. And using this tool sort of as your second brain to keep yourself organized throughout the year. So it's sort of your go-to place. And the best part about this, you can actually integrate your Google Calendar into Notion. So Notion actually has an app that you can actually use on iOS um, or Android phones and enter your information there. But if you use Google Calendar as sort of your main go-to to enter dates and so forth, there are some ways to be able to integrate and sync up your Google Calendar with Notion Calendar. And I've been playing with this all afternoon, and it's just amazing how you can do it. It is so, so cool. And then there's several videos on out there that show you how to do it for free. So once again, that four-letter F word. And where are we here? There. So we are now going to switch over and taking a look at Notion. So once you do get your page set up, you can then set up your calendar to be able to sync up with your Google Calendar as well. And you're able to add events in here and keep everything on track. And like I said, this is sort of your second brain. This is your location where you go and check every day your daily tasks. Like if you want to create your own to-do task lists, you can have journal task lists. You can have all sorts of different things. The sky is the limit on how you want to get yourself organized using this tool. So it's, like I said, it's a wonderful tool that we at C3 love to use on a consistent basis. The next tool is another one which we absolutely love. And just as a heads up, we are not sponsored or affiliated with any of these applications. These are just tools that we wholeheartedly use in our day-to-day. So we are not affiliated. We don't receive any compensation, although if anyone's out there from them, feel free to reach out to us. We're willing to make a deal. So one of our other favorite applications is Canva. Like, not only is it's so useful, and it just keeps expanding as well to the capabilities of what they're going to be doing in the future. It's a design tool to create graphics and design elements. You can create social media graphics, blog post images, other kind of visual content for your website or social media platform. But the biggest thing that will help save you a ton of time, scheduling your social media posts. And I'm not sure how many people out there know of this function out there, because it is life-saving for me. So just jumping over here to take a peek at the content planner. On this, you're able to schedule, like you could spend maybe an hour and a half, and you can schedule an entire week of social posts for your brand. So I do love doing this, and it is so simple to do. And actually, we'll just quickly go home. We're going to do a social media post. Instagram, we'll just do a square. What kind of template should we use? Happy New Year. Or, there we go. We have a new product. And then you can put all your details in there. You can alter the image or the post however that you want. And the easiest thing, and unfortunately, the scheduling is a paid pro feature, but I believe it is 100% worth that for the monthly fee that you use, that I use it for. So all you have to do is select the date. So like tomorrow morning at, let's go, 8 a.m., bright and early as people are waking up and having their coffee. So 8 a.m., and then you actually can change your time zone as well, so it could actually be posted, so you don't have to do the calculations. And then here is where you select the channels. So for myself, I have an Instagram, a Facebook page, and a Facebook group, as well as Twitter profiles all configured on here. And you can select and add multiple channels on there. And if I do it, for instance, on Instagram, I can write my caption, I can put all my the words, the hashtags and everything, copy and paste that into the four or the three other channels that I do have configured there. So that definitely does save some time. But then you do that times 7 days of the week, boom, you're done your social posts for the entire week. So absolutely love that in terms of trying to help get yourself organized for the entire week. So yeah, we love Canva so much. The next one, you thought it's just a mail program, but MailChimp, it is actually a whole marketing platform. You can actually create landing pages for people to sign up to help build your email lists. You can create these forms. You can use a ton of the pre-built templates that they have there, and they help you create a website for e-commerce as well and email marketing. And myself, I've used this for many years and I still am on the free program and love using this because you're able to send monthly newsletters out to your audience. And I believe it's up to 2,500 emails that you get per month under the free program. So after you start growing your audience, you may need to move to a paid platform or to another tool. But to get yourself started and to help grow your audience and help do email campaigns, this is definitely a tool that I absolutely love. So you can actually look at all of your previous campaigns. It has um, analytics of what you've done as well. Like, see, my last new newsletter that I had out of the 42 subscribers, 21 had opened. So it's like 50% of the people had opened. And in that newsletter, I actually have some website links, and it tells you how many people clicked on those links as well. You can create email campaigns as well. And it actually has a bunch of automations built in that. And with this, you can also schedule stuff according to calendar and once again, time zones as well. So this is yet another tool that you can use to help save some time rather than filling your day up with individual posts and emails and campaigns like that. So like I said, I've used this for a number of years and absolutely love using it. And the fun one, sticky notes. If you're using a laptop or a computer, there are some free features that you can use to write things down. Whether you have like you're brainstorming and you just need to jot some stuff down. Sticky notes, as in the actual physical sticky notes, you can write them down on in Windows. It's an application called Sticky Notes, or you can just write down using Mac OS, like writing down notes. And I'm not sure, Dori, are you familiar with anything similar to Sticky Notes on the Mac environment?
Yeah, there's an app on a Mac called Stickies, and it basically gives you the same benefits.
Yeah. So what I really love about this is that you can write down your notes, write your ideas down. You can actually post pictures on these sticky notes as well, and post different tasks that you have to do for the week. And the way I have my computer configured, these are popping up as soon as my computer starts. So it's in your face as everything is booting up. So it's a reminder right in your face to, hey, you need to get this done so that you can actually cross it off and then get that sticky note off of your desktop. And once again, you can color code them and add pictures depending on the task. So I am actually going to head over and show you sort of what the sticky notes look like in my desktop. So like I just grabbed a random picture that I had here and it's like, hey, I'm going to be doing this post and this is the picture I'm going to be using. And underneath you can write the what your post is going to be about. You can even just copy and paste it, or if you just want to write down bullet points about what the idea for the post is going to be. And then what I really like about this is if you go to the main sticky notes program, you can actually see all the sticky notes here. And no matter what computer you log into, if you're logging in with those credentials, it copies it over for you. So once again, it's a web-based service out there as opposed to being local on your computer, so that you can be on the go, log in to work, sign in with your credentials there. Boom, there are all your sticky notes from your home computer that you can use. So those were just a few of the actual online uh, types of applications and programs that are out there. But you could also do the old school whiteboard or the old school. Oh, I didn't get the picture put up in time, but I had a picture on my. I actually have a whiteboard on my office door and a calendar that is a whiteboard as well. So I can actually write everything in, do it with different color markers, and do it according to similar to what Notion and what these other tools are doing online. But it's a physical reminder. So as I'm walking into my office, it's like, boom, I have these things that are coming up, and these are the things that I do have to complete this week. So I do love all the different tools that are out there. So I am very curious to hear whether you, um, who am I jumping to? I am jumping to, is it, no, to Dori. I'm gonna, nope, nope. She's giving me the no signal saying I'm going to be throwing this to Manny because I'm curious about what of these tools that you actually use on a regular basis. And do you have any other online tools that are jumping or that are different that you may want to share with the group?
Well, like I love everything that you shared was so valuable because number one, we use a lot of that, literally. So I feel like number one, Notion. I've only heard of Notion. I don't even know that I've ever used it until we started using it all the time. So that right there shares the value that you've brought to this table tonight. Throwing that out there for people to, find ways to be more organized. My favorite tool that you shared, if you didn't already guess, is Canva. Canva is my absolute favorite, without a shadow of a doubt, because of everything it offers for the newbie when it comes to graphics, when it comes to designs, when it comes to social media posts now. Now, I'm not too sure. Some of what you offer or shared, I think you need a pro account. Um, I don't use every single thing that you shared. I didn't know you can integrate Canva with Notion. Is that what you said earlier?
Google
Was it
Calendar with
Notion?
Notion.
Google Calendar and Notion. Those two, I didn't even know can integrate. I thought that I use Google Calendar without, like, that is my go-to calendar all the time because of the way it integrates with everything, the pop-ups, the reminders. I absolutely love Google Calendar. So when you're saying that it actually integrates with Notion, and I'm a big believer in taking notes. I'm more like I like to use pen and paper to take notes only because I feel like as I'm writing it, I'm remembering it better. So I'm so at yeah, exactly. I got like notebooks everywhere. So I'm a big believer in that. But the digital appointment setting, the the way I'm able to go to Notion and we'll follow our notes together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, it's Sunday night. Let me make sure I'm ready. Sometimes I'll pull it up on my phone first. So I love the way it integrates for teamwork and all those things. Like so, favorite wise, definitely Canva. Second favorite, I would say Google Calendar. But let me tell you, when it comes to all these things, you know, really as three people we live in three different locations, Notion makes that so much easier for our working tools. And I don't think any of us pay for what we use with Notion, right? Is that a fair statement?
Oh no, nope. You're right.
Not on Notion part, right? So like here we are able to collaborate. That was another thing that you hit home with, being able to collaborate with others. We've been doing that now 2 years or something. So I mean, honestly, Kevin, these things that you shared for any entrepreneur, this is such value. Dori, what do you think?
Well, I mean, there were a lot of things. I was frantically trying to take notes in the chat, and I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't think about this. Oh my gosh, I didn't think about this." And honestly, like I've told you guys before, Mailchimp has never been on my radar. I've never generated an email list. I've never really seen a reason to, just because of my method for streaming is a little bit more, person to person and less about like business building. But I did not realize that Canva, once again, another vote for Canva, had this content planning aspect of it. So I am very curious to look at that. Now, I did ask a question, Kevin, in our private chat that I wanted to circle back to. You mentioned the scheduling is a pro feature. But the button itself that says content planning, is that available at all on a free account or no?
I haven't checked. I just know that it's a go-to for me because I have decided to go with the pro account that I am able to schedule, but I have not tried with an account not a pro account. So that definitely is
Okay.
something to look into.
Okay. Um, but I mean, I love the idea of setting aside time. And one of the things that I used to do, and Manny, you hit the nail on the head with this when you talked about it earlier, um, giving yourself an hour of time on a Sunday. Uh, One of the things that I do, and it actually helps me stay more organized, believe it or not, is I give myself a social Sabbath. So from Friday night until like we're ready to rock and roll here Sunday, I step away from technology. I put the phone down, I put the devices down, and I spend time with people. And when I go back online on Sunday afternoon, I sit down and I look at my calendar for the week. I plot out some of the things that I'm going to stream about, and I do those things. And I actually do write them down in my Rocketbook. We're going to convert you, Manny. We're going to get you a Rocketbook so that takes the place of all the books that you have laying around.
Trust me, I
Um,
actually want one of those.
but I think that some of the things that you brought up in terms of just setting aside time for yourself, and if it gets to the point where you have to put content planning on your calendar to allocate time for it, then you need to do it, because if you are serious about streaming content and becoming a content creator, people are going to pick up on the fact that you are just flying by the seat of your pants, and you don't want that. You want to develop an audience that trusts you, trusts that you're putting time and effort into the content that you're building. And so taking this organizational aspect seriously is really important. So I thank you, Kevin, for the tips, because I got a lot of nuggets out of tonight. I don't think I'm going to be checking out MailChimp anytime soon, but the rest of the things that you mentioned, really interesting to me. And I
And
am going to practice integrating Google Calendar with Notion, because I think that's really cool too.
And what I'm holding up here is an actual timer so that you can sort of keep on track too. It's like, hey, I have 1 hour here and I'm going to be focusing on my posts for this upcoming week. And then when that alarm goes off, boom, okay, you're done with that. Whether you're done or not, uh, you've set that time. So now you move on to sort of your next task. It's like, okay, now I need to you've scheduled your posts. Now I need to do some research on my upcoming live streams this week. So getting used to that and finding efficiencies in your workflow will help you get more efficient and be able to get your content together quicker and find those templates, find those shortcuts to be able to get everything created for you on a shorter time scale.
And I think that's really helpful for people who struggle with like attention problems, because, knowing that you have to commit a large chunk of time, I think is half the battle. And when you get that sense of overwhelm, I think that you just kind of like want to go, oh, I'm going to wash my hands of it and I'm not going to do it at all. Whereas if you can do it in small chunks, I think that's a great idea. Just curious, Manny, do you do any like do you have a timer system or anything, or do you just sit down and do it until it gets done?
Exactly. I
Okay.
try to schedule like something like 10 a.m. I don't do it every single Sunday, but if I have to send maybe I have to create content ideas for a client, I like to
Mm-hmm.
spend that time on Sunday to do it, which reminds me I have to get that done too. Um, so that's where it's like I like to schedule it like that. For my YouTube channel, a lot of that is media based on what seems like it could take off, what seems like if I talk about this topic I have a chance to really the timing. So sometimes if something breaks, like I have to rush home sometimes, so it's a little different, say, from client to what I have to create for myself. Mine is kind of twofold. What is the story that I want to work on that has a beginning to end, and then I'm ready to go live with the media, the stories that are in the media right now. So the other one would be something like it's been completed. They went through from beginning to end. Here's what happened. Let's dive deep. But then I have the live. Let's talk about this right now. This just broke or something like that. So it's kind of twofold there for my channel. Whereas for my clients, it's always let's create the topics that people are searching for, which is still the same thing for me, right? These are what yeah, oh my God, this broke. I want to know why. If it's trending, no, it doesn't matter what it is. You want to talk about it if it's relevant to what you offer. So content creation, you do want to leave those little things like, oh my gosh, everyone's talking about it this week. I want to go live about it, right? It's the hot topic where it might not already be on your content calendar. You got to get it out there, right? People are dependent on you to create good stuff, good content, stuff that they find valuable. I was looking at my subscribers to new watches, right? Like, are
Mm-hmm.
my subscribers coming back to watch that next video? It was actually very, very good in comparison to new viewers and returning subscribers. Whereas my buddy Kevin, who has a growing YouTube channel as well, his is quite not like that. It's like it's actually quite a bit of difference on the graph. Whereas mine was like interchanging, and it was like equal a little more, like, wow, I'm getting new viewers and my subscribers are coming back. And that's what you want, right? You want to know that the content you're creating is it's the content that your audience wants. That's why they'll come back, right? That's why they'll tune in. Hopefully they love your personality, like DSpence dish when you're dishing it out every morning, right? It's like I look forward to that. I love to see it pop up on my timeline. It's become a part of my life when I go onto Facebook in the morning and yeah, she's right out there. Like that, because if you think about it, what's your message? Your message is always about being able to keep this mindset on the go with everything that we come through. Doesn't need a little pick me up every single morning as humans, right? So when I'm thinking about all this type of content planning and creation, I mean, I know I went a little more off on a tangent on that. My apologies, but that's the way my mind thinks a little bit there. So
Now,
It makes perfect sense.
I'm very curious, Manny, because you're saying that you're taking a lot of the sort of hot topics of the day and rushing home to uh, write stuff up. What kind of tools do you actually use to get that information together? Like, are you writing notes down in your phone as you're hearing about it so that you can rush home to be able to do some further investigation on it? Or what kind of
if
things?
you looked at my messenger right now, you would see a bunch of articles that I shared with myself. So I don't forget where
Mhm.
I found it, right? And what I do, I use this kind of prompt smart, it's called prompt smart. It's a teleprompter type thing. So I use that as well. But then when I'm putting all my notes together, I'm putting also the images that I'm going to be popping up at the same time. So I know image one, pop this up while I'm talking about it. So I'm kind of using my prompt smart to help me with my notes and organize it all together. Now, if I've been talking about the story for a while, I may already have a lot of images. So I'm just going to ad lib articles. Like I'm going to put it in my words, what I know as I'm reading their words with what I know. So I'm kind of ad libbing, throwing my personality into the story that everyone's talking about. So that's kind of what I use for my note gathering. Otherwise, this right here, it's on my desk all the time for my topics. Literally for my topics. Like, okay, stories I want to stay on top of. Exactly, I got like so many different. Okay, I I have pages on search volumes. So I can go back and know how if I'm gonna pick a story, I want to know what is it working. Okay, I picked it because it had this much volume. Did I get good traction? So I'm always analyzing things. I'm looking at my analytics on it as well. If is this story doing good? I'll even if a story's not doing well anymore. Back in the day, like 100 views was like great, great. But now if it's like I'm struggling to get to 100, I'm making it unpublic because I'm like my audience doesn't like it because I'm doing it for my audience as well. This is not about me. This is about speaking for the victims and being there for the people who are following my channel.
Side note, Manny, I think that's a great future topic for you, is talking about things like that. Some analytical stuff and, making decisions with your videos and things. So while you got your notebook there, maybe you should jot that one down.
I'm totally with you on that one.
But Kevin, thanks. The content tonight was amazing. I took away some awesome tips, as I know Manny mentioned he did as well. So, with that being said,
My friends, if you enjoy the content like this and you are finding it useful, we would love it if you'd like and subscribe. And by the way, sharing our content is also a great way to spread the love. And if you visit our website for all the information on how to get a hold of us, or if you want to connect with us, check out linktr.ee/content creators connect. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
And if you want to see something specific brought up and discussed with our group, let us know down in the comments so that we can do some further digging and give you the information that you would like to see in the future.
and with that being said, for the very first time in 2023, thank you for joining Content Creators Connect, aka C3, tonight as Kevin discussed his top tips and free tips for staying organized heading into 2023. We return next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Manny, that guy right down there, will be discussing how to create the right content for success. We will be multicasting live to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, so be sure to join us. Until then, we urge you to identify and lean into your 3 C's. Start today creating unique content that builds connections and breaks down those barriers. Thanks for watching. See you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.